Welcome everybody. This show is dedicated to bringing you all of the best bits in and around the island city of Portsmouth.
We'll show you all the best local stories and the greatest place that you can visit.
With us, we have our audience correspondents Helen and Rebecca.
We have our weather correspondent Jacob.
And our live studio audience.
We have a great show planned for you guys, so don't go anywhere.
I'm Albertool.
And I'm Luke.
And this is... Hello and welcome to This is Portsmouth. We have a great show planned for you.
It's been 40 years since the raising of the Mary Rose ship. We'll take a look back at that triumphant day in 1982 and what the public thinks.
We'll see the inspiring vision of a graduate photographer's work and speak with her here in the studio.
And later on, we'll take a look at the events happening in Portsmouth with a segment we call Events of the Week.
All of that and more coming up on the show. But first, Luke, I've got to ask you something. Do you play any video games?
I do a little bit, yeah. I'm into Minecraft, but most recently I've been playing Mario Kart Wii. It's a bit of an old game, but I love the nostalgia. What about you?
Oh my God, I used to play that game as well when I was younger, but ever since I joined uni, I don't have any time to play any video games.
Well, I think we all know a little bit about video games. But what if I told you that gaming has been taken to a completely different level and is now even considered a sport? Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the Rainbow Six Siege coach for Portsmouth Paladins, and this is esports. What is sport? How would you define it? Is it physically demanding, mentally tiresome, to be the fastest, score the goals, be better than anyone else? Well, sport to me is competitive. To be up to the challenge when the odds are against you. Being able to think outside the box and on your feet. It's about teamwork, dedication, and guiding those around you to be the best they can be. Helping them realise their potential. Gaming means to me the competitiveness and the teamwork, where you're able to put 5 people in a VC who might not know anything about each other, and they're able to put everything aside to play at a higher level and compete together as a team, helping each other grow and learn. Esports can now definitely be a viable career. We're seeing it in the fact that universities are paying people to come and perform for their university in the form of scholarships. We're seeing it on the fact that the universities are also providing courses to be better at the coaching and analyst skills. We're seeing it in tournaments also. We're seeing that Rainbow Six has got 4 tournaments a year, minusing the community tournaments, where they're paying people to be on production staff and to be able to play as well, flying people in from all around the world for 4 tournaments a year with a cash prize of up to £2 million. If that's not incentive, I don't know what is. Do I think esports is taken seriously? I don't. I believe that most of the generation and population in this world still believe esports is just playing video games at a slightly more competitive level. Meanwhile, with the increase in cash prizes, with Dota 2 having a 4 million cash prize and Rainbow Six Siege having 2 million, it now is increasing the traction that actually it is a serious scene. And with the size of these cash prizes, it is now proving to me and many others that this scene is, and esports as a general, is now definitely a sport. There are many different careers in gaming, not just esports. You can be a YouTube content creator, to a coach, analyst, a player, or potentially even a creator of said games. It's just out there and you need to find what best fits you.
Hey, I'm Jack Trestrell. I'm a YouTube content creator under the name of Captain Jack, specializing in gaming content, mainly an indie game called Space Engineers. So, what does gaming mean to me? I reckon it's probably escapism and creativity. To be able to come home, escape into your favorite games, and also express your creativity. Like myself, I do sandbox games, building your own stuff like starships or fancy houses and stuff. It's both them, escapism and creativity. So I realized gaming and YouTube content creation was a career path for me when it started turning over revenue. At that point, I could support myself as an independent content creator. I gave up my job I was working. I was able to make videos, and provide for myself using ad revenue and also Patreon and things like that. And that's when it turned around. Honestly, the benefits of being a YouTube gaming creator brought to me have been amazing. I've traveled to the United States, I've traveled to the Czech Republic and various places. I've met some fantastic people. I played some amazing games and just had a fantastic time in, having my hobby be a job at the end of the day. Not many people get to say that in life. And at a young age like myself, it's been a fantastic journey to be able to experience all of that.
Hi there, it's Helen, and I'm here joined by JP. So, JP, tell me, are you a competitive gamer?
Yeah, I'd say so. My housemate could say otherwise in terms of me being, let's say, loud. You could argue.
So, do you think you'd ever join an esports team?
Probably not, because I don't have the time, and they're a lot more professional than I am, let's say.
Fair enough. Back to you guys over in the studio.
Thanks for that, Helen. Now, I'm sure we all know that art can take many different forms. You may think of classic paintings or ancient sculptures.
But one local photographer who was recently selected for the Graduate Platform Award is taking her art into a personal direction, one that may touch you with your eyes. Let's take a look.
My name is Thaïs Veracelt. I was born in Grenoble, a little city in the south of France. And I'm an artist based in Portsmouth. I've completed my graduation this year and I'm moving on to an MA in photography. I was shortlisted by Vicky Fear, who's the curator of Aspects, after showing this work at my graduate show in July this year.
So every year with the Platform Graduate Award, we visit the degree shows of 6 university partners and look for the most exciting work, the most sort of interesting comments on the world that we live in today, and the artists that we feel have really got potential to be very exciting artists of the future. Every year for the Platform Graduate Award, we nominate one artist to be put forward regionally for the award. And the award includes £2,000 cash bursary, but also a year of mentoring, so really, really vital support for artists at that particular time.
My art piece is called Touch Me With Your Eyes, and it's an exploration on a chemotherapy journey of my friend who was diagnosed with stomach cancer. At the beginning of last year, I was having a discussion with tutors, and one of the tutors suggested me I looked into the stereograph. So stereograph is 2 images taken from a slightly different distance and which can be seen in 3D. Immersing the viewer into my artwork is what I'm really passionate about. So just providing an image, just a 2D image, was not of any importance for me. So I wanted the viewer to kind of be in the image with me. Using stereograph, I want to suggest that we need different perspective in order to bring out the depth of a situation. So I use stereographs to immerse the viewer into a situation that may feel really uncomfortable for the viewer to see. So after observing the medical procedures, while I was with Jane for 2 weeks, I started taking pictures and asked her also to write a diary. And the diary piece that is currently featured amongst the pictures. I've decided to kind of blow it up in a gigantic piece just to show how important is her voice. At this stage, I thought, you know, that was kind of very important to show the unseen.
Wow, what an inspiring story. Here to talk more about her work with us, we have photographer and creative producer Thijs Verhasselt. Thijs, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, how are you? Are you good today?
I'm all right, thank you.
Beautiful. So I'm going to just ask you a couple of questions. So my first question for you, Thijs, is being selected as one of the 12 finalists of the Platform Graduate Award, how does it feel having your work displayed in the Aspects Gallery here in Portsmouth?
I was certainly not expecting that when I showcased the work in Eldon Building to start with, as my graduate show last year. So I was really pleased and I felt really honored to have been shortlisted, and there's such a great opportunity for this work to be showcased and experienced by an audience.
Of course.
But I'm really grateful for Aspects as well, and the curators who's made, you know, the piece work in this space. So come and visit.
Yeah, of course. Was it the first time that your work was displayed like this in a big gallery?
Yes.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous. Yes. I had a small experience, so previous experience in showcasing this graduate work in London as part of the graduate show.
Okay.
But it's a next step.
Of course, and hopefully there'll be much more in the future.
Hopefully. Thank you.
So my second question for you, Thijs. Now, we know that you're away from home. Where are you from?
I'm from Grenoble in France.
In France, yes.
I'm away.
How has moving to Portsmouth influenced your art?
So I've been in the UK for 12 years.
That's a long time.
Moving to Portsmouth was a new discovery, certainly. So I've moved 3 years ago as part of my degree.
Yeah.
And the encounters make my heart evolve through times, including the work of Evangelia Agui Kalfa, who's exhibiting in Wishine at the moment. And she's experiencing on artwork and the history of art. So I recommend you come and see her work as well.
Of course, we need to go and see that. And my final question for you, Thijs, what's next for you? What are your future projects? What should we be looking out for?
So I'm currently doing my MA in photography, and I'm currently looking at augmented reality through VR.
Okay.
To experience, so for the viewers to kind of experience a peep show, so the Victorian peep show.
Yes.
In a more kind of modern way. So it's very experimented at the moment.
Sounds very interesting.
Thank you. Yes. Looking forward to experiment on that.
Okay, thank you, Thijs. But we will have to leave it there for now. To find out more about Thijs's work and the Platform Graduate Award, please visit www.aspects.org.uk. Thank you for coming, Thijs, on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, sorry, just had to stretch my legs from being on that sofa all the time. Now, coming up on the show, we head down to the outside-in food court and all the delicious restaurants it has to offer. But first, we go to Jacob with the 7-day forecast for this week. So, Jacob, what's the weather looking like in Pompey for this week?
Thanks, Luke. Hi there. It's another mild afternoon across the south of England. It's quite sunny with a little cloud coverage today. This afternoon, we can expect partly cloudy skies in most places and moderate winds coming in from the south. The temperature will average around 11 degrees Celsius throughout most of the afternoon and into the evening tonight. Lows will average about 7 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, so if you're headed to the football match, you'll want to bring a jacket to stay warm. Through early hours tomorrow, we can expect to see temperatures rise just slightly, with cloudy conditions remaining relatively the same throughout the weekend. And here's a look at the rest of your 7-day forecast. We'll be embracing some light rain showers starting Sunday and a moderate breeze throughout the week. So try and bundle up on your commute and stay warm. Back to y'all in the studio.
For that, Jacob. Now, to warm up your tummies, we know food is a big thing here in Portsmouth. You have your takeaways, your fancy dinings, and the occasional kebab after a night out.
We are getting a wider appreciation of foods in our ever-evolving society. Albertal, any favourite foods come to mind?
See, my favorite food has to be just in general like South American cuisine. I love a bit of Brazilian, a bit of Argentinian food, just South American food. Yes, it's the best.
There's plenty on offer.
Yeah.
Personally, I just go for a classic burger. Can't go wrong with it. Well, next, we head down to the outside-in food court, a food court inspired by traditional outside markets. Let's take a look.
Before Outside In was a thing, this was actually a teacup factory that ended, and then we obviously bought the warehouse and we just did it up into this nice food area where people can come in and, you know, eat and drink and things like that.
My name is Alejandro. I work in Arepa to Go. We do traditional Venezuelan food. I'm from Caracas, Venezuela. It has been almost 4 years now. We are the first traders who came here. We are part of the first group of vendors.
It came from the idea of kind of like market food, but instead of outside, it'll be inside where people can sit and eat and enjoy their food in comfort, instead of outside in, you know, cold like this.
I found out about this place when they opened nearly 4 years ago. And I just basically tried to get in because it was a good opportunity. It's a really nice place to spend a couple of hours in. You got music, you got a nice bar, you got a nice drink, really lovely food.
All our vendors are from different cultures. So we've got Venezuelan, Greek, Asian, and Italian. So it brings in loads of cultures of different people. But yeah, it's a good environment for just bringing communities together.
So yeah, I think Independence Restaurant now, I think people is looking for something more authentic and original. And I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, try to eat healthy as well. So we work with beans, with avocados, and it's fresh food, it's made at the moment. So it's not something that you find everywhere, you know. You need to find these places to basically enjoy that experience.
Hi there, so I am here with Joe today. So Joe, are there any places in Portsmouth that you fancy going to now you've seen that?
Well, I saw the Greek food and that looks really nice. I'm a really big food fan. I like, normal well-known stuff like a burger, but with the Greek food, it looks really good. I think I'd really like to try that sort of thing.
It does look good. Have you ever heard of a moussaka?
Oh, no, I have had a moussaka. It's really good, and I think you should try it. I really think that I really like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Perfect, thanks. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Rebecca. Well, let's take a trip back, way back, into the year 1545. King Henry VIII's favourite ship, the Mary Rose, sinks into the sea. For hundreds of years it stayed there. But in 1982, the ship was raised and given its own museum here in Portsmouth.
Now, recently, the Mary Rose Museum celebrated its 40th anniversary. Next up, we look back at that momentous day and see what the public thinks of all of this.
But on this rainy day in October 1982, the Mary Rose broke the surface to the sounds of a celebration.
There is the first sight of this flagship of Henry VIII. It's the first time we have seen this in 437 years. What an amazing sight.
Built in 1510, the Mary Rose served King Henry VIII loyally for 34 years until July 19, 1545, where it was defending the coast off the invading French forces. And on its 40th anniversary, we're here to talk about whether or not it should have been raised at all.
First, I wanted to start by asking our panel to imagine the scenario that 40 years ago, the Mary Rose was not raised. It was not found the years before that. Let's say it's just been found. So what would be different in the steps that followed, and do you think it would happen?
I don't know how those people's remains were treated, whether there were any kind of spiritual aspects dealt with when those bones were raised.
I wrote a letter to our chief executive at the time. Because of the religious sensibilities at the time, it would be a good thing to have the Anglican and the Catholic clergy of Portsmouth involved in dedicating the museum.
To have left the wreck down there, particularly in the light of the dredging that was carried out for the aircraft carriers, would have been insanity. It would have been lost, it would have gone.
You have to remember at the time when the Mary Rose was raised, or when it was found, that our maritime archaeology was completely different. People would find things and take them and put them on their mantelpiece.
The reason why the Mary Rose is important is there's so many different things that it's important for that sense of community, for the international things, but also the contribution it's made to naval architecture, to history, to maritime archaeology.
We've proved it can be done, and we're groundbreaking in our techniques and research and conservation and everything. So.
And if we just brought up the artefacts, I don't think it would have been such a big attraction.
That's what the experts thought, but what did the public think?
I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think we need something like this so that people like the school children that have just gone by can see how people lived in those days, how they worked, and what they did.
Everything knits together from the past to the present, and it's a fascinating thing, quite apart from the fact that we can see the boat as it was into now.
I think just seeing the transition from what it used to be, when you could hardly see it, to now you get a really good idea of the cross-section of the ship, and with the holograms inside you get a real feel of what it would have been like. It brings history to life.
Everything we see in this museum tells a story in one way and another. Every single item was in use on one particular day, on Sunday afternoon, on the 19th of July, 1545.
Without seeing it up like this, we wouldn't know what life was back then, and you learn so much from it all.
Because it's probably priceless, isn't it? Because they're not going to find another one, so if we hadn't preserved it, it would have been lost forever.
I think most people in Portsmouth are very proud now to have such a national icon and such historical interest in their midst.
Is it a gift worth keeping for the UK? I leave that up to you. Look at the amount of people here today. That certainly speaks volumes.
So now I am here with Charlotte. And Charlotte, have you ever heard of or been to the Mary Rose Museum?
Well, I have actually, yeah, and I have to say it's absolutely amazing getting to see a piece of history. It's easy to become separated from the past and the present, but having dug up the Mary Rose, it's like a connection between the two, and that for me was
Amazing. So do you think you'd ever go again?
Oh, 100%. I've got a year subscription to the entry, so definitely, and I recommend anyone else to go, definitely.
Sounds like a good idea. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Helen. Now, there's always exciting activities and exhibits around the city. Let's take a look at a few that you and the whole family can attend with our Events of the Week.
We Shine Portsmouth is back for the second year. The art festival runs from now until tomorrow night. It aims to bring interactive artwork to various locations in Portsmouth, and the best thing about it is that it's completely free.
Now, I love free. And for the little ones, Crafty Little Toddlers is a fun activity presented by local artist Mrs. Blossom. Her craft workshops allows your children to take home all of the amazing creations that they make.
And finally, are those sleigh bells I'm hearing? Because the Portsmouth Christmas Market has returned to Commercial Road. Whether it's mulled wine or picking up a gift, it's a great way to get into the Christmas spirit.
Find out more about these and other events by going to www.visitportsmouth.co.uk.
Well, we've explored a lot today, from esports stereotypes to the Mary Rose raising, and let's not forget its 40th anniversary this year.
To diverse local cuisine and artists exploring their passions. But guys, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today.
We would like to give our big thanks to Thijs for coming on the show, Helen and Rebecca, our weather correspondent Jacob, and most importantly to my fellow presenter Luke.
Thank you so much, right back at you. But let's not forget our live studio audience as well, guys.
Yes, of course. Woo!
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all very soon.
This is Portsmouth! Woo!